Okay, my amazing chemistry students. So, last class, you got this paper, and then there's a page on the back for you to graph, okay? And this is what you need to complete today, is this. So, first off, if you did not have one, I'll have extras that you can pick up on the counter, okay? And there's a few things that I need you to note and change. So let's do the first one together. Many of you have already drawn these Lewis dot structures. So instead of Vesper, we're doing Lewis dot structure. So here's the Lewis dot structure for this molecule. And we need to decide if these bonds are polar or nonpolar, and if the molecule is polar or nonpolar. And truthfully, I bet you guys could figure out molecule polarity without bond polarity. So you know, I'm okay if you guys decide to cross out these bond polarities. Let's just focus right in on symmetry or asymmetry. So I see 4 domains, and these 4 domains are all identical. So reminder, when we call it symmetrical, when all the domains are the same, then it's a nonpolar molecule. But if we have asymmetry, then that would be a polar molecule. So this molecule is nonpolar because it's symmetrical. All the domains are the same. So I need you to go through, and if you haven't already, finish the Lewis dot structures and then decide if these molecules are polar or nonpolar. Then let's do one more together. So we have NH3. So if you go through and you draw the Lewis dot structure on this one, counting those valence electrons, deciding what goes in the middle, all that stuff, it will have a lone pair on it. Okay. So without doing bond polarity, I can actually know that this molecule is polar because it's 4 domains again, just like this one, except 3 of the domains are hydrogen and one's a lone pair. So that's where the asymmetry comes from. So it's a polar molecule. Okay. Now, each of these formulas are in groups. These are the groups on the periodic table. And then they also are boiling points. Okay. So I want you to use the colored pencils. I'll leave them in a box on the counter as well, so you can grab a bag of colored pencils. And for each group, I want you to do a different color. So and I don't care which color you choose. So maybe for group 14, I'll do red for that one on the graph. And then for group 15, that's what I'll do, blue on the graph. Okay. So here is our graph, and we got boiling point, and then we got different periods that they're in on the periodic table, and then we're going to be mapping our group. Okay, so period 2 in group 14, this is CH4, and it has a boiling point of negative 161 Celsius. Okay, so period 2. And I'm going to graph this first one in group 14. So I'm going to do a red color because it's group 14. And it was negative 161. So really pay attention to these calibration marks because here's negative 160 and there's 180. So negative 170 would be right in the middle. So this is our one that is period 2. And so I'm going to draw it right on that line. So that first dot is like right next to the line, right? Because it's negative 161. Let's keep going with this group 14. So our next one, which will be in period 3, has a boiling point of negative 111 degrees Celsius. Okay, so now I'm still using my red color because I'm still doing group 14, but I'm going to go on this period 3 line. And so here's negative 100, here's negative 120, so 110's right in the middle, and it was negative 111, so it's going to be pretty much to the center there. Okay. I'm going to have us do group 14 together really quick. So let's move on to our next one here. So this will be period 4 in group 14, and it's negative 88 degrees Celsius. So on period 4, now, here's negative 80. So this is 100, so this would be negative 90. So I'm just above the middle there. Negative 88. Two more in group 14. So this one's going to be in period 5. And we have negative 52 degrees Celsius. Okay, so period 5. And we got negative 52. So we got 60 right here, 40 right there. So negative 50, and this one, remind myself, negative 52. Okay, so negative 50, we're right in the center, maybe just a hair below the center between those two lines. And then our last one is period 6, in group 14 still, so we're still using this red color. And it's a boiling point of negative 13 degrees Celsius. Okay, so period 6. Here is, let's see, that's negative 20. And so this line right here, because I know you can't see the axes, this one's 0, that one's negative 20. So halfway in between there would be negative 10. So I'm going to go a little below that because it was negative 13. Okay. So here's all those dots, and I'm going to have you take a ruler. I'll have them sitting next to the colored pencils, and we're just going to connect these lines. And again, I'm using the same red color because what I'm connecting right now is this group 14. And we can start to see a general trend. Oops. Make that a little straighter. Okay, and then our last one. And we're going to label this just so we remind ourselves. Okay. We're going to label this one group 14. Okay, in that same color. Now, the next thing I want you to do, and listen carefully because this is not on the front page, so I want you to add this. If a molecule is polar, okay, so if a molecule is polar, then I want you to underline it and pick another color. I don't care what, but pick another color that you're going to underline. So maybe for me, I'll choose this black pen. So CH4, which had that boiling point of negative 161 degrees Celsius, this was not a polar molecule, so I will not underline it, okay? In the end, you're going to have something like this. So first, we're going to see these Lewis dot structures, and you're going to decide if the molecules are polar or nonpolar. Then I'm going to see a graph of the different groups in different colors. Group 14, group 15, 16, 17. And if they are polar, then it's kind of hard to see in the camera here, but they're going to be underlined. Okay. It's important that you hold on to this graph because we are going to be using it all throughout the lecture next time. So my expectation is that by the end of the class period today, you've finished with this graph. We're not going to be spending any time on it next time, but we are going to be using it quite a bit, so it's important that you get it done. Okay. All right, everyone. Thank you for your hard work, and I will see you all next week.